Evaluating a function just means to take an x value and find its y value. So if I have a function, usually you name a function with like, this is function notation, f of x equals, or g of x equals, or h of x equals. This is function notation. Okay, so let's pretend we have this function. F of x equals x squared plus 5. Okay, so how you can evaluate, you pick a number. Let's say I want to know what negative 3 is. So this means I'm taking the x and I'm plugging it in for the x. And I'm going to get a y value. So negative 3 squared is 9. 9 plus 5 is 14. So how you write this is, and you say f of negative 3 is 14. You can also say this is just an ordered pair. Negative 3 is the x, and 14 is the y. Another way to say it is when x is negative 3, the function at negative 3 is 14, or the y value is 14. Okay, let's try another one. G of x equals absolute value of x minus 7. Okay, let's figure out what g of 3 is. So, you plug 3 in for x. 3 minus 7 is negative 4. Absolute value of negative 4 is positive 4. So g of 3 is 4. Or this ordered pair would be on the graph. If you graph this parabola, 3, 4 would be a point on it. Or this isn't a parabola. This is a absolute value. If you graph this absolute value, three, 4 would be a point on it. So 7, 0, and then 3. So that would be a point when you draw this absolute value graph. 3, 4 is a point on the graph. Sometimes people mess up this one. Alright, let's pretend we want to know what f of 2 is. So that means I'm plugging 2 in here. I think when people make the mistake is they forget order of operations. You have to do exponents. 2 squared gives me 4. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Plus 4 is negative 8. So 2, negative 8 would be a point on this graph. Okay, let's do one more. Alright, I want to know what g of negative 2 is. So I put negative 2 in the absolute values. Absolute value of negative 2 is positive 2 plus 4 is 6. So negative 2, 6 is a point on this absolute value graph. So the main graph goes like this. It's a graph that's shifted up 4, and then it opens up. Well, negative 2, 6 would be a point on that graph. Okay, final problem. Let's figure out what f of negative 3 is. Okay. So I plug the negative 3 in here for x. Negative 3 squared is 9. 9 times negative 2 is negative 18. Subtract 7. That gives me negative 25. So, negative 3, negative 25. Okay, that's it. This is evaluating a function. F of negative 3. You just, instead of x, you substitute. You put the negative 3 where the x is, and you get a value for y. F of x, we think about it as y. Alright guys, I'm hoping you understand this. If you don't, come in and get some help. Alright. Good luck.